Hey ladies, how's everyone doing today? I want to start this week. So this training is all about mindset, and I think it's really important to start with mindset because it literally affects everything that you do. So I started doing a program a couple years ago, and I was really just like, I'm just trying to make money, right? But the beginning, they had all this really foundational mindset stuff, and it was phenomenal. Like, it changed my life completely. The more I got into the mindset stuff. So it's been really fascinating to me. It has really opened up a lot more doors for me, and I think it could be really good for you as well. I want to start with this book. This book is called The New Psycho-Cybernetics, and I know that sounds like a really weird, like sci-fi robot thing, but the book is phenomenal. It is all about how to make change, how to see yourself differently so then you can step into the person that you want to become. And I think it's important to do it first because I think a lot of us, if we are not where we want to be and we want to get to a different place, we probably have to change some things to get there, and change is hard. But with the tools that you learn in a book like this, it makes it so much easier, and it sets you up for so much more for success to be able to get there. So I really think it's important to start there. And it's a phenomenal tool to have in your toolkit. That's kind of what you'll get out of this book and this training, hopefully. When I was going through the program that I mentioned a couple years ago, she talked a lot about what you put out there into the universe, you will get back. And if you have an abundant heart, like if you are so grateful and thankful for all the things that you already have in your life, then it will attract more abundance to you, which was really interesting. And as I started doing that, I was getting more abundance in my life. Opportunities would come out of nowhere. So I want to put that out there to you guys. She did a lot of gratitude journaling, so I started doing that as well. And that is something that has really, like I said, it's just brought so much more opportunity and abundance into my life, and I hope that it does the same for you. And she talked a lot about vision boards and how you want to visualize where you want to get to, right? Like, she had this great story where she visualized this mountain house because they've always wanted to live in the mountains. She's out in Utah. And she said, I just had this vision where I'm sitting in this chair and I have a blanket on my lap and I'm looking out the window and I can see the snow kind of falling, and it's like, ooh, that sounds lovely. Well, they got their mountain house eventually, and one day she's like sitting in this chair with a blanket on, reading her book, and she puts her book down and she looks up out the window and there's like snowflakes coming down, and she's like, oh my God, this is my vision. Like, it's happening. So her point then was, if you really visualize and think hard about what it is that you want and where you want to get to, then your brain, like your subconscious, can't have it not be so. Like, it's working really hard to make that happen. So your subconscious is going to do things in the background while you're sleeping or whatever to try to make that your reality. So visualization, super powerful. And I knew that a couple years ago when I went through this course. But this book has taken it even a step further. It's all about, like, there's athletes, salespeople, entrepreneurs, CEOs, like so many people have been using the techniques of this book. The guy wrote the book in like the 50s or 60s. Like, it's pretty old. So I got one of the newer versions, and I'll put a link to it in the comments underneath the video. But it's really fantastic. There's like two principles that the book works on. So the guy that wrote it, he is a plastic surgeon by trade, which you're like, what? Why is he writing about this? Well, as a plastic surgeon, he saw so many people come to him where their lives were just in ruins, in shambles, because they believe so firmly and fiercely that some flaw on their face or whatever is like causing their life to just be awful. And they believe that so much that they like can't have a good life. Like, just worry and stress about it until they're like to death almost sometimes. Some people, like the one guy wrote about it in his suicide note, that like, no one wants to talk to me because I have this weird looking face. And everybody who knew him was like, no, he was great. I didn't think, like, he doesn't have a weird looking face at all. He was very handsome, actually. A lot of people regarded him. So it's just crazy that what you believe to be reality is your reality, but that might not be actual reality. So there's a lot of things that we've been told and taught since we've grown up that we take on and think, oh, yep, this is me, this is how I am. But you don't have to be. If you don't want to be that way, you can decide to change and see yourself in a different way. So that I thought was really powerful. And also, he said the mind, it's really fascinating, has like an automatic, I'll call it just an automatic mechanism. Because if you are focused on a positive outcome, it's kind of like it's like a guided missile. Like the guided missile knows this is the place that I'm going to land. And as it gets off, like the wind is taking it off its trajectory, it's doing different things to compensate so that it hits on the target. And your brain is kind of the same way. So one of the examples he gives is, let's say I need to go pick up a pencil off that desk. I'm not thinking to myself, take one step that is 2 feet long, bend elbow at 30 degrees, use 2 pounds of pressure to grasp pencil. Like, your brain's not doing that. Your brain is like, go get the pencil. And all of these things in your body move in a way so that you can get that pencil. So if you have a positive goal that you are shooting towards, your body and mind are doing everything in their power to make that happen, which I thought was really powerful. But also, if you're a really negative person and you are focused on what's going wrong in your life, you're worrying, you're stressing, and you just don't have a lot of positive things that you focus on, this automatic mechanism kind of acts like an automatic failure mechanism. So whatever you are thinking about and striving towards, you'll get there. And if it's negative, you'll get there. So I thought that was really powerful too, that it kind of goes along with the whole you get what you put out into the universe type of thing. But I loved this because it really brought, because I'm like total mechanical engineer, like nerd. So it totally brought like the science piece in. It was like, this is why that's happening, which I thought was really cool. He talked about, back to the first topic, he talked about belief, right? He talked about when people are hypnotized, everybody thinks that they go into this different state, but really the state that they go into is they just believe whatever the hypnotist is telling them. So it's almost like they're unhypnotized from all of the normal things that they think about themselves. Like he talked about, there's a really strong guy, right? And the hypnotist says, you can't pick that pencil up off the table. And he's like stressing and straining and trying really hard to pick the pencil up, and he can't do it because it's like his muscles automatically counteract him so that he can't do it. He thinks he cannot pick up the pencil because the hypnotist has told him that, and he believes what the hypnotist is telling him. So it was interesting that like we're kind of all floating around going through this actual like hypnotized state of all these things, these messages that we've been given our whole life, like, oh, you can't do this, you're not good enough for that, nope, that's not your thing. And you kind of get in the zone and you just go through life and you don't really think about it at all. You don't question it, you just kind of go. But it's time to question it. Because if you do, you can totally change yourself and your life and your future. And that would be amazing. I am going to stop this for now because I think if I let it go on longer, I would just ramble. But thank you so much for tuning in to today's training. I didn't want to take up a ton of your time. Let me know if you got value from this. I hope that you did. My name's Erin Thompson. I'm the Penny Grower, and I help women achieve independent wealth. So if you'd like some more information about how I do that, drop the word info below in the comments, and me or somebody from my team will reach out to you and get something set up so we can put all the pieces together to get you to independent wealth. Thank you so much, ladies. I hope you have a great day.